Every fighter has a story. What is yours?
Mav, you know, do your plate. Put it in the sink, please.
Is he like recording life right now?
He is.
I'm recording what? Life?
How the Johnson family life is.
Who wanted a pancake? Your pancakes are delicious.
Pacoy, Pacoy.
Hey, don't hit that camera with that.
What's your power tool?
I got a plasma sword!
This is early morning life every day. So in the morning, I am in charge of getting the kids' schoolwork done, getting their lunches made, making sure they eat breakfast, brush their teeth, doing their hair, taking their temperature, filling out their health screen form before they go to school while Destiny is at the gym. She always makes fun of me because I make a 5-course meal. She goes, "You take all damn day. You make a 5-course meal. I'm good. I'm at the door." That's not how she really sounds, but that's how I interpret it in my mind. Early morning meal, I eat the same thing every single damn day. Usually, I have gluten-free pancakes I make from scratch, but one of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You need 12 fish. He's hilarious. There are 12 fish in a tank.
12?
Yep, so we gotta read the story first. 5 of the fish are blue, the rest of the fish are red. How many fish in the tank are red? Show your work. So, how many fish do we have?
So when we have 12, right?
We had 12, so only draw 12 fish.
Okay,
But-
I'm not very good at drawing fish.
That's okay. So in the morning, I know I'm gonna be training at night, right? So when I come home from school, when they come home from school, they'll be with mom, and then they'll be doing their schoolwork and hanging out. And you know, right now mom's gone, so dad's here. Then when I go to work and they come home from school, they'll be with mom. So this is the time I get to spend with the kids, help them with their homework, hang out with them, play football. But usually they go to school earlier, so I won't have as much time to spend with them, but on Mondays it's late start, so it works out perfect. And the kids enjoy it too, because halftime I'm gone, and then when I'm gone, the house runs like a old machine. It just, my wife is, Destiny's like, do this, do this, do this. They're in bed at, 7 o'clock, sleeping by 7:45. On the day I have off, it's a house. So like, Dad's home, come on, let's do this, da, 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 da. Either yellow or red. There are twice as many yellow fish as red fish.
So I think that for Deej, him being part of the family, being active in the family, along with training camp is important to him. I think that him stepping away, and if he were to stay somewhere else, it's for some families, but not for him. I think that him being hands-on, him being active, like we've always had breakfast together. We always say he's not home for dinner because he trains at nighttime. So in the mornings, that's his time to really be with the kids, show them their one-on-one time if he can. It's important to him, it's important to me, but it gives me my time. So when he actually leaves for the gym, it's like I get to be able to be mom.
Come back, bud.
That was fast!
Yep. See how fast you get in your car and buckle. Come on, Ty, let's go.
Mav, no.
Ty, let's go, please.
I just want to take this bike right
Bye. Oh, you need your backpack. Excuse me. You need your backpack. Thank you. I talked to the gentleman. He said he'll let me know when they start practice. And guess what? When they start practice, I'll be done with this fight. So I have all my free time dedicated to you guys. Okay? I know.
If money really grew off trees, there would be money on every single tree that we're passing right now.
Yep. And know where you're going to work right now.
Wait, what if it was raining money?
No, we'll be going to work either. Same.
Money everywhere.
Yeah, money everywhere. All right, buddy, love you.
How am I gonna get out?
Walk around it.
Infinite everywhere.
Go to the left. All right, love you.
Love you, Dad.
Have a good day. Yes, sir. I know you do, Taryn. Trust me, you think I want to go to the gym all the damn time and work out, I would love to go to the gym in the morning, get my workout done, and go ride dirt bikes. I would love to, trust me. But that's just not how the world works. That's why I tell you guys, I view it as work, right? Because there's other things that I'd rather do than go to the gym and work out. Awesome. And practice will be posted on the Facebook page. What did she say?
Yes.
Yes. And here's his track. There's a track.
Can I see a video?
You know what? There is no video of it, to be honest with you.
Oh.
Hey, what? Come on now. Yeah, it's it right there.
Dang.
Right there. So don't, I know I'm always training, I'm always gone, but don't think I have not forgotten about you, dog.
I know.
So,
I just feel bad for you that you have to always train and you don't get to spend much time with me.
I know, dog. Shit, you telling me. That's why I'm 4 more years and I'm done. See? 4 more years and we done. 4 more years, dog. There's so many people, so many athletes in mixed martial arts, and we all get into this sport to be a world champion, right? In today's day, you get in this sport, you're striving to be world champion. And a lot of them don't become world champions. There's a lot of great fighters in the world who've put together 7, 8, 9, 12 win streaks. They finally get to the world title fight and they don't even do it. And the person who got the world title, he only put together 3 win streaks and he got it, right? And you look at it, how's that fair? How's that fair? Just a different path he took to get there quicker, and you took this long road to get there and you come up short. It's very unforgiving, right? It's like, it's the luck of the draw. But for me, I see how, I've been exposed to the early days of Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz, Spencer Fisher, Jens Pulver, all those guys, and I see them come through the sport, and I see how now you hear about some of them and you don't. Like that one piece they did with Spencer Fisher, how he's talking about the CTE concussions, all that stuff. He's trying to get medical bills taken care of. It's a very unforgiving sport, and people love the way he fought. And he was motivated to fight that way because they called him the king. He came out there and brawl. But you have to be smart. This is when the business side comes to it, right? You have to make sure when you fight, you get your money's worth. You are smart with your money, right? Because yeah, you can. Here's $3 million, right? Go fight. You got $3 million. What the hell you do with $3 million, right? Obviously you're gonna spend it, but you have to think. Okay, you gotta pay your taxes. Then you also gotta put money aside to invest. That way your money works for you. You have to get that money going for you because when you are 55 or 60 years old, you can't be like, oh, I didn't make no good money. It's like, pretty sure they should write you a check for $3 million. You ain't go, you're not gonna make that type of money anywhere else doing what you did. That's where I start thinking about the business side of it, right? You have to start thinking about branding yourself outside of mixed martial arts. For me, it's gaming. It's the action figure toys. It's signing up with great companies and helping companies build their brand and build their awareness. It's something that a lot of people don't like to talk about. It's like taboo. To talk about like how unforgiving this sport is, but I think it's good to be transparent about it, to let people know like this is not a sport where it's all dandelions and sunflowers. Oh, you got a little beard going on? Let me see little beard. Oh, little speech better. Okay.
I know a little something.
Okay.
I'm trying to get the beard like you feel me?
You'll get that. You ain't grown yet. We're sparring tonight, and today is kind of light cardio, but low impact, right? So we'll do 2 rounds of normal lap swim, and we'll do 2 rounds of intervals. My coach said, the reason why you are so successful and you separate yourself is you view this as a job. You come in, you clock in, and you work your ass off, you clock out. You go home, do the things you need to do to be successful the next day, which is going to get enough sleep. Go home, not go out and party, not getting wrapped up in drugs or making stupid decisions. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times when I was, going to the gym. Saturday morning we spar. We'll go out to the club, go to Masa and dance. Other than that, I was always, it's time to be at the gym. If I wasn't making the gym, hey, I'm being late to the gym. I got caught up in work. I'll be there. So I worked full time while fighting for world titles, right? And once I realized, in order for me to be successful, I have to view this as a job. That's it. Time to go home, relax, get ready for the night. somebody came to me, they told me something that has always stuck with me. And it was a guy I trained with at the gym. And he seen me when I was an amateur all the way to this point in my career. And in the middle of it, I just won one of my title fights. It was my 7th title defense. And we're getting ready to go train again. I was getting my shin pads on, my knee pads, putting my gloves on, mouthpiece. And he looked at me, he shook his head, and he goes, damn. I was like, what's up? He goes, you don't care if you win or lose, do you? And I was like, no. And he goes, that's why I like you. I've seen you as an amateur all the way to this point, which is 7 consecutive title defenses. He goes, you haven't changed one bit. And you know what I love? He goes, the outcome of your fights never dictate your life. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And he goes, well, think about it. You've won 7 times. What you doing here? You still putting your shin pads on like it's your 2nd amateur fight. And you're about to go for your 8th, and nothing's changed for you. And I was like, should things change? Should I view life different? Should I view training different? Should I not be here? Like I said before, it's my job. I view it as work. Work pays the bills, right? So until all the bills are paid and I can retire and not have to worry about financials anymore, then maybe I'll view, fighting and training totally different. I'm always grateful, right? You always gotta be grateful for this stuff, especially when these opportunities arise. You just make it, and it's not about making a shit money from it, because you're not gonna make a buttload of money from creating toys, right? It's just about, unless it end up in Target or Kmart, and the Kmart say, hey, we're gonna mass produce these, we just keep it going, then that's where you start making the money. But for me, I'm literally a fan of action figures, and so I'm like, let's do it. Once you're a champion, it's about now collecting shit. And for me, I just like Grand Prix belts. It's just big and meaty, and it's heavy, and so for me, I almost want to call myself the belt collector. But in order for me to go around and collect all these damn cool ass belts, I have to jump from organization to organization. You can't do that. So this one, is like my crown jewel. This one beats all my UFC belts, because it's something I grew up watching, World Grand Prix, and I got a World Grand Prix. That's, even when I was watching, the UFC back in the day, and they had them belts, right? I didn't care about winning a world championship. But when I saw just the whole build of a Crow Cop and Fedor Emelianenko, Vanderlei Silva, you look at the bracket and they're working their way to it, and then finally they win it and they get the belt. Then they go off and they fight for the title and whatnot. But for me, I'm like, the World Grand Prix are like where it's at, my personal opinion.
Isn't it fascinating how many fighters have embraced the gaming community? Like, I'm talking about this. Fighters game, they fight these days. Talk about just how you've seen that explosion. Obviously, they've probably been gaming just like you as long, but now it's a community.
Yeah, you look at the gaming thing. A lot of people look at it as nerds, or, like we're nerds, right? Like, oh, who you gonna stay at home play games? One, it's very cheap. It's very affordable. You're not blowing money. You're just sitting at home playing. I'm home with the kids. But there's a big gaming community now where a lot of people are starting to, I don't want to say come out, or, oh yeah, I play games now. But there's ways that athletes can play games to communicate with their fan base who are also gamers, right? You have platforms like Twitch, Facebook, and those are the only 2 ones. And you also have, I think it's called Picato, which is more for artists, for them to be able to display their work and interact with their fans and post it somewhere. There we go. Boom. See how this looks. So there's so many different platforms now where that people can go on there and show their work. And it's dope that more athletes are starting to interact with their fans while they're playing video games and show their community. And I think the pandemic kind of helped that out too, because a lot of athletes, they weren't able to connect with their fans.
Well, when we first started, he had I think, just one amateur fight, and it was fun, and it was his fun, like something he did for a hobby. I knew he loved to work out. He was fit. He'd show me pictures of his abs, and then through that, it was like, okay, he enjoys it. Cool. All right, cool. I just didn't think anything of it. I grew up watching WWE and boxing with my dad, but knew nothing about MMA at all. He didn't have a dream in the moment of this is my life. I have a dream of becoming a fighter. That was not it at all. We were hustlers. That's what we were doing. We were grinding 3 jobs. hardly saw each other, but we were supporting each other and doing what we enjoyed individually. And then I just think like after questions from the coach would come like, hey, do you want to go fight here? Eventually it's like, sure, yeah, of course. And then it got to the point where I think he had made that, well, he was gone so much, amateur wise. And it was like, are we going to do something with this or not? Because there has to come a point in time, like if this is going to work out, we got to give it, we're in or we're not in. But like, you have to know if it's not going to go the way you want it to go, you have to be able to hang them up at some point. Little did we know it was going to end up blowing up, and here we are.
Oh my God! Wow! Good fight.
I started trading. Well, I've always been invested in the stock market since 2013. Every time I fight, I'll put maybe, I think, I'll max out everything. 401k, Sapphires, I'll max it all out. And the way my my mentor taught me is that you're basically filling a sock up. And you just keep on maxing everything out. And eventually you have compound interest, you have growth, and bonds, notes, all that stuff. And your stock's just going to keep on getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger over the time. And it's just going to explode. So, but then I started doing once I started getting that nest egg so big, he was like, I think it's time for you to start doing it on your own. And, watch it, see how the market moves, and do it on your own. So I've been doing it on my own for about three or 4 years. There should be somebody around saying, come on, Usman, you just want to fight. How much you make from that fight? Come on, Usman. Oh, shit, DJ, brother. Well, he's not. That's how he talks. But he's like, Kamar was like, I made $1 million from that fight. Okay, Kamar. Okay, that's what we want to do. Okay, we're gonna take 30% of that. So 300,000 that's gone, Kamar. All right, Usman, that 300,000 is gone because you got to pay Uncle Sam. I know he's out of your team. He's out in your corner. 300 that's gone. You have $700,000 left. Okay, let's pay your teammates, your coaches, whatever it is. So let's say it's 20%. Okay, so 50% that's gone. So you made $1 million. $500,000 is gone. You might just kiss that shit goodbye. Okay, so you have $500,000 left. What are we gonna do with that? I think we take $500,000. How much you need to live off of? You have you and your daughter. Okay, let's say you get $200,000 to yourself. You live off that for the next time you fight. Don't blow it all in one place now, but you can live off that until your next fight. So we got $300,000. Okay, we're gonna put $300,000 to work. We're gonna put $300,000. Let's just being blunt about it. Let's put $200,000 in the stock market. Okay, the annual return, safe and passive, is 10%. So I'm gonna give you $30,000 on that $300,000. He'd be like, well, that's only $30,000. You're missing the point. Where can you go anywhere else in the world? I'm sure there's many places, but this is a safe, easy thing you can do. $30,000. Okay, you fight again. Kamar fights again. Beats homeboy again. Shit, Kamar, you got another $1 million. Guess what? We're gonna do the same thing. $500,000 is gone. Uncle Sam, your teammates, coaches, whatever you got going on, you got another extra $500,000. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna give $200,000 to you. So now you got $400K in your pocket. And guess what? That stock market account now has $600,000. Now you got 10%. So 30%. Now we're getting $30,000 a year. Now we're going to $60,000. Guess what? You just made $90,000 a year. Now you got $690,000. Guess what? You just fought again, man. And guess what? 500 goes away. It keeps going and going and going. Next thing you know, you do that for 8 years. You're sitting. You're looking at your investments. You got like what? $3 million in cash. $3 million of 10% is $300,000. That's more than some of the motherfucking fighters' fight pay. Then you can live off that if you're smart. Your house is paid off. So that's why I love. So when Destiny said Mighty Investments,
That's a Deej story, by the way.
That's a Deej story.
You're talking just to the point. Just wait for it. Hold on.
Yeah, so that's how people build wealth. But this is the stuff they don't teach you in high school or college. Like, this is the thing that athletes need to know is that you can fight. Fight's a very short little time. When you fight, you save your money, you invest it. That way, when you're done fighting, you don't have to go and find a 9-to-5 job. You do what you want. That's always been like my goal. So that's another reason why I'm always grinding in the gym or hungry to fight is because if I can set myself up on that same basically plan I just laid out there for any athlete. If you can get, $5 million in cash, from all years of fighting, granted you have to be successful, deals, sponsorships, all that stuff, and you get something that's going to pay 10%, that's $500,000 you're living off every single year. And that doesn't have to be just pertaining to fighting. It could be football, NBA, NHL, a videographer, a YouTuber, a Twitch streamer. It's like you got to have your money working harder for you. And that's what the stock market has done for me, is literally sit there and watch it and analyze different stocks and companies that I believe in and invest in. There was a person, a father figure in my life. He said if a woman's gonna spend all day slaving over the kitchen, making you some dinner, at least your lazy ass can do is get up and wash dishes. That's what he told me. And he washed dishes every night after dinner. So I'm leaving for the gym. I know Destiny's got to take care of 3 of the kids and the damn dog. So at least I can do is wash the dishes. That way she has a clean slate to get dirty.
Think we're good. 10 minutes. Yeah. All right.
We're headed to AMC. It is about let me ask Tesla. Tesla says about today. $54 minutes. So AMC is one of the longest, gyms ever that I've been told. In the original one that just got torn down was the longest gym ever in Washington State, and it's had a lot of phenomenal athletes come through there. Hayato Sakurai, Mizuno, Wiki, Jens Pulver, Rich Franklin, Matt Brown, Tim Boach. Josh Burnett. The list just goes on. And Matt's trained all of them. And obviously you have me now. You have James Yang. You have Karis Fedor. And it's a gym that's produced a lot of amazing athletes, but it's not a farm gym. My training partners, you have James Yang. He's a professional athlete. He's a one athlete. He'll hopefully be making his debut here pretty soon. Then my other training partner is Tony Sublime. He's a financial advisor. Then the other 2 of my training partners, Cody and Jacob, they're both amateur fighters, but they work for Seattle PD. They teach them, how to disarm people and how to basically grapple. Another gentleman, Gabriel, he's also works for Seattle PD. So that's pretty much my training partners for a lot of my world title fights. My career when I did my Lever title fights, that was the people I was training with. A lot of people think you need to go to a world-class gym, be surrounded by all these killers. You really don't. At least I didn't need to.
First things first, we're all trying to get each other better as martial artists, and we're all friends, he's been a great mentor to me inside, outside the ring. It ain't just about training and business. It's we actually enjoy each other. We like the same shit. We like anime. We we're actually buddies. We're actually brothers. So it's a lot of camps will grab a fighter from somewhere, handpick fighters to come help out, but we don't need to do that, man. We have everything we need right here.
Having him go from the UFC to one championship, the discussion in between there, he could have retired. In a lot of people's eyes, he could have retired for all the accolades that he's got for his resume. But I think he has an ultimate goal at the end of the day, and that's never to have to go back to work and answer to someone. He has goals of wanting to have financial freedom. And at that point, we've saved and invested, but he wasn't ready for that. He wasn't ready. He didn't feel like we had enough money to save up to where we could have that financial freedom. And he has so much drive still. His dedication to the sport, clearly, we know, but he still was hungry. There was still hunger in him. And he's like, I'm not ready. And then we got the opportunity for one championship to sign on. And it was how could we turn down an opportunity like that? And it's one door closes and you think for a little bit, you're like, what do I do? You're lost, I'm sure. We weren't, because I think we have that positivity mindset. Like, there's always something. You can't close the door. I live in a gray area, so like, I always know, like, I can go that way or that way, but I'm gonna choose positive, always positive. Where he's like, oh shit, it's over. But like, it's not over, because there's always more doors to go through, you know? And then now with one championship, it was like, we knew that they were a respectable company. We knew that we know they have incredible athletes. So many different facets of MMA, and that's what I think for him moving over there, he's like, there's growth, because he could compete in anything over there. It's not just MMA. So then you have a whole new area and territory and fighters, and testing yourself against like the world best kickboxers one day, Muay Thai. I mean, how cool. So it just gives him a whole new, I think it gives him a whole new like light of like, okay, well, I have goals now. Maybe I can obtain this belt, that belt. Maybe I don't need a belt. Maybe I just want to fight as much as I can. I don't know. I feel like there's so many endless opportunities over there.
You want to fight like a maestro.
Right.
You want to fight like a virtuoso.
Yeah.
You want to fight like Mighty Mouse.
There you go. Exactly.
So what I tell everybody, you look at Mighty Mouse has had moments in his career, like the Ian McCall fight is a good example, where he also had a full-time job, wasn't dedicated the way he should be, and got into a brawl, and Ian took his back, wound up pounding him, and Mighty Mouse had vertigo after that fight. He was really fucked up, and then quit his job. Realized, like, I have to go full-time. I have to dedicate myself to this full-time, you know? And when he did that, then under the tutelage of Matt Hume, he became the Mighty Mouse we see now. But in my opinion, one of the things that sets him apart from everybody else is that he's not running away from you and not getting hit. He's running at you and not getting hit.
True.
I mean, he's coming straight forward and then cutting angles and doing things to you that you didn't anticipate, and he's not there for the counters.
Yeah.
So he's fighting correctly.
Yeah. Seamless too.
With me competing against Adriano on TNT, it'll be the first time the American audience gets to see Adriano fight. It's a great opportunity for him to be able to get the exposure and for people to put some respect and give him some buzz, whatever you want to call it. Because he's been a champion for a very long time, won a championship. A lot of a North American audience don't really know who he is. And I think for him, you know, he's going to do that. He's going to try to make a name off of me by trying to beat me, right? That's what everybody does, right? That's the name of the game, is the guy you beat, if he has a big name, your name becomes big. Half the time it works, half the time it doesn't. So it all depends. But it's going to be a great opportunity for him to be able to try to take your boy out.